Actually, I feel really, normally you should feel relieved when you leave the stage, but I actually feel really relieved right now. Not only because now I'll be able to get a way of understanding myself, which is something that I've always struggled with, but also because this morning I might as well have been in the hospital because I had one of the severest hypoglycemia attacks, and I have diabetes. Thanks to my friend, we shared the hotel room. Otherwise, I would not have been here on stage. So what worse? I've already gone through the worst during this day. This is a picture of me and my friend exploring technology over a glass of wine, and which led to a project I decided to call Hackerspace in a Box. And it's about making the feeling of creativity and curiosity accessible to anyone, anywhere. And these are two feelings that are at the core of the Hackerspace movement. So let me start with the story, second one. About 4 years ago, I watched this TED Talk by Henry Markram about building a brain in a supercomputer. And I was totally fascinated. I got totally hooked on TED. I stayed up the whole night, watched like 7 TED Talks, and was high on inspiration for weeks, which was a problem because I was also studying something really boring. But I realized what TED had ignited in me is something that we all have inside of us, but that we tend to lose as we grow up. And I also realized that TED has one major flaw, actually, and it treats you as a passive receiver and not as an active contributor, and I really wanted to contribute. So I had already started thinking about, more engaging and inspiring ways to communicate science, but this paper, like most master theses, was only read by me, my examinator, and my tutor, which felt like a total waste of time. And actually, why would anyone read such a paper? I have a personal belief that acquiring knowledge always has to start with something practical. It's for everything I've done in my life, from skiing to surfing to traveling to hosting TEDx events and making stuff blink. It's become such a deep part of me that it's embedded in our whole company philosophy. And I'm going to say that, why am I telling you this? Well, I felt stuck in theory, like the theory bubble, and I had to get out. I felt like I had to start doing some really weird things to be able to burst out of this academic theory bubble, which I'll come back to. I started making weird things. I built this blinking piano in the staircase of our office space. I played music on the faces of principals in Sweden. I went to schools and built instruments with kids. We even went to LA and helped a project called No Right Brain Left Behind to kickstart to convert a neglected space in a high school, and that, library, because a lot of libraries are empty spaces nowadays, and convert that into a creative makerspace. And we shared all our sort of content, our videos, and they now received actually $100,000 for a grant. Then we went to San Francisco and took the kids from the school to a hackerspace, and also built played music on fruit and did all sorts of weird things. There I met a guy, Curious John, who really inspired me and made me almost obsessed with being curious about curiosity. What is it about curiosity that makes us go tick? And so when I came back, there was this an event taking place in Stockholm called Art Hack Day. And you know, there's a thing called a Health Hack Day, there's Art Hack Day, hackathons, all these kinds of really intense, immersive events. And I felt like, oh shit, I have to be at this event, I have to do something. So I did this thing called Why So Curious. And while the initial idea of this art project was to capture the look of curiosity and post it online, it actually invoked quite a profound discussion about what it means to be human. And brings me back to myself. You see, I always felt like a total hoax when it came to hacking and making. I studied a program which we jokingly called fake engineering, which is also known as industrial management and engineering. Industrial engineering and management. Only math, only theory, so I felt like, in practical senses, I felt like a retard. So I felt really sort of not, I had very low confidence. And so on this journey of trying to reclaim my curiosity, some really interesting things happen, which I'll come back to. You see, my program is quite good at industrial engineering and management. It's quite good at producing management consultants. But in the future, more and more companies will hire you for what you know and can do. And whether you acquire that knowledge through university or not is no longer that relevant. In fact, we have a process of academic inflation, and the whole system of education is shifting beneath our feet. So therefore, I think it's safe to say that the future belongs to the curious. So where does that leave me? Well, I at least identified the most curious people on the planet, which mostly are running hackerspaces or part of the maker movement. And there was this conference in September last year called the Open Source Hardware Summit, and I knew I had to be there. So I bought a ticket to New York, and I went there. It's a little, I'm standing there. And, so in terms of curiosity, all these people are like grown-up kids. They're like, I wonder what would happen if I took this and plugged into this. And a lot of them became quite close friends of mine. So I'm not saying don't go to university, but what I am saying is if your program is full of unapplied theoretical knowledge only, you should either visit one of these spaces, start one yourself, or just make something blink, because it's ridiculous how much joy you can get out of such a small thing. All these sort of projects came together in what we call like a Eureka Moment. I don't know if you've seen Stephen Johnson's TED Talk, Where Good Ideas Come From. They normally don't come with a Newton and the apple. It's a bunch of slow hunches that just all came together. So I was at Art Hack Day doing Why So Curious, thinking about Hackerspace in a box, bringing Hackerspace mentality to schools. And I Googled the name, I looked for the domain kidshackday.com, and no one had bought it. So I bought it, and I was totally, really excited, and I felt like a kid when I pushed purchase. And then I made a website. This was a few months back. Now we're doing this 30th of August. And we're building a hackerspace for kids around this event that's going to last. So the goal of Kids Hack Day is by using really intriguing ways to make kids fascinated and want to explore technology. The goal is to create a generation of resilient, compassionate, and curiosity-fueled global citizens that love learning. A generation that takes control over the technology around them rather than the other way around. And so while the future belongs to the curious, meaning it belongs to our kids, and we all know this. So let's not take that future away from them by asking ourselves the question, at what point in time did I lose my curiosity, and how can I reclaim it with the help of a kid? Thank you.